25th, 2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us this morning. I'm Gary Liberatore. We begin with a major tropical storm that could become a hurricane, and it is set to rapidly intensify on its way to Florida's Gulf Coast. Now, residents across northwest Florida are preparing for any potential impacts. They're filling sandbags and stocking up on essentials. Officials are asking residents to make sure their hurricane kits are packed with plenty of food and water to last up to 10 days. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has declared a state of emergency for a large portion of the state. Forecasters say they expect Helene to make landfall in northwest Florida sometime tomorrow as a Category 2 or Category 3 storm. And some breaking news from overnight.
Weather spoil your day. Tune in for the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast, brought to you by Munson. Visit Munson today and ignite curiosity and creativity. Visiting Munson and the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast, both free and both Utica's very own. Remember, all roads lead to Munson. ATV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good Wednesday morning, everyone. The surprising factor last night, at least for those of you who noticed that it's been, at least for the most part, several weeks without any notable overnight rainfall. Well, a live look at downtown Utica right now. We are seeing dry roads, but notice the lines of where we did see some rain. Even a lot of spots saw trace amounts, if that, but enough to be notable to produce some sort of light mist or rainfall accumulation in the ground. Current temperature is sitting at 56 degrees with cloudy skies. Comfortable humidity. Humidity today will be slightly higher than yesterday as a few rain showers are developing across the area. In fact, on the radar right now, here's how things are shaping up. A dry slot has moved in temporarily, but zooming out a little bit, we can see that initial round of rain that rolled through, and we got this rain band here that will mainly miss our area. It's going to be cloudy with maybe some on and off rain chances throughout the day today, but the best shot for rain will be arriving as we head into late this evening and tonight. Temperatures today peaking in the mid 60s, so it's going to be a cooler one. Definitely want to wear that long sleeve shirt, maybe even a light rain jacket throughout the day today. Wind speeds still remaining a bit breezy today as well, between 10 and 15 mile per hour winds, so almost like another fall day, in fact similar to yesterday. Bigger picture, here is this disorganized area of low pressure, multiple little squiggly lines showing the troughs extending out from this low. And this will continue to shift north and east through our area. Following this warm front temporarily, in fact, we're not going to see much of that very warm air as before the cold front sweeps through by Friday. High pressure eventually moves in and we eventually dry out. And so on our skycast for now, today mostly cloudy skies, chance of a light sprinkle or shower. But the more favorable time for rain to be a bit more notable will be tonight. That's when we'll see at least scattered to numerous rain showers across the board. This will continue into the early morning hours for your Thursday. Following that, a better shot for scattered showers during the daytime tomorrow before that cold front sweeps through Thursday evening into Thursday night. And we'll dry out a little bit with some patchy fog Friday morning and then sunshine by Friday afternoon. A heads up, though, we're keeping a close eye on the tropics at this point. Tropical Storm Helene is expected to become a major hurricane by Thursday evening into Friday, hit landfall roughly around the Big Bend area of the Florida coast, and then shift to the west. Thankfully, high pressure this weekend, as you can see here, is going to steer that rain and at least the remnants away from central New York. So again, we got nicer weather following these 2 rainy days, and that continues as we head into Monday and Tuesday of next week. Very seasonable, in fact, slightly warmer than average temperatures Gorgeous conditions for any plans, not only for the weekend, but also for any plans for extended vacation, in case you want to take a Monday or Tuesday off and go up and enjoy some of the fall colors up in the North Country. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:23. Still ahead of...
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And I know we started at the top of the show with Helene. How's she doing?
Helene, well, she's still a tropical storm, but going to intensify quickly to Category 3 and make landfall in the Big Bend area of Florida at this point. Still, it could wobble a little bit back and forth, but this track is a lot more consensus compared to hurricanes like Ian, which hooked to the right at the last minute. But here locally, thankfully, we're not going to see any impacts from it, besides today, which is going to be a rather unsettled one. Now, we're not talking about rain all day long, just breezy, cloudy, and a stray sprinkle. 56 in Rome, 55 Hamilton. Rain showers reported up in Saranac Lake and over in Glens Falls. And in Oneonta right now, it's a dark start to your day. This sunrise getting later and later as the days are getting shorter the fastest. In September, you can really start to notice that change between the 1st of the month and the 25th, which is today. Oneonta, of course, sitting at 54 degrees. Radar right now is quiet here locally, but we had showers to our north and showers to our west. The ones to our west will mainly miss central New York, but following that, we have a better shot of seeing rain later on this evening. So most of the day today, not favoring steady rainfall, just clouds, light sprinkles here and there. Again, we'll talk about that rainfall heading into tonight and how long it lasts into that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. President Biden made his fourth and final address to the United Nations.
The Storm Tracker 2 team, where we track storms.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Wednesday morning. As you mentioned over the past few days, we're showing our fall photos of the day, and this one takes us still to the North Country where the colors are still the brightest so far. And this is at least some location up near Inlet, in fact, near Big Moose River. So this is, you can see some of the colors here. Again, a lot of the folks that we've been talking to up in the North Country have been saying the colors are slightly muted. And this is somewhat the case if you can see this quite here. A little bit more yellows and browns and a lot less reds and purples. But we'll see how the rest of fall pans out depending on how this rainfall tonight and tomorrow affects it. But as you can see here, this is some of the scenery across the area. If you would like to submit a photo like this one, showcase your neck of the woods, tell us how your fall foliage is shaping up, submit your photo, your location as well. It might be featured right here on News Channel 2 at sunrise, or send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Well, this morning, we're tracking rain showers exiting to our north and some showers to our west, which will mainly dodge us. But later on today, in fact, this evening and tonight is when we'll start to see our next round of rain showers. We'll talk about that and how long they last in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Now to some local soccer action from Tuesday.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good Wednesday morning, everyone. We are still tracking the exiting of rain showers outside of our area, but we're not done with it just yet. We'll see more later on, but for now, it's a quiet start, relatively, here in downtown Utica, taking a live view outside. A few clouds out in the distance, but again, overall, the roads, as you can see on the ground, they were a bit more damp about a half hour ago, but now they are, of course, starting to dry up. Currently sitting at 56 degrees with comfortable levels of humidity. And while I'm at it, I want to mention the rainfall we've seen so far, which is primarily in the North Country. I would say as you head up to northern Herkimer County, that's where most of that rain fell. In fact, I'm going to do a quick 6-hour time loop here so you can see how those rain showers shaped up. Notice the heavier downpours fell in parts of the North Country, while some light sprinkles still stuck around in parts areas to the south. So between trace amounts of rain to as high as 80 or eighth of an inch of rain expected, at least that shifted through our area overnight last night. Throughout the day today, we've got temperatures climbing as high as the mid-60s. It's going to be a cool one today. A bit breezy, wind speeds between 10 and 15 miles per hour. So another one of those days you kind of want to keep that light rain jacket handy, sweatshirt maybe, but long sleeve shirt definitely. No t-shirt weather is expected today. And the bigger picture, we're not talking about a easy black and white rain moving in, rain moving out. We've got this messy setup here, a lot of squiggly lines here, which are troughs extending outside of that low pressure center. But the actual center of the system rolls through as we head into tonight and into the early part of tomorrow. Then following that, we'll see those rain showers taper off and sunshine move in by Friday. And so in our skycast, some lingering light sprinkles today, but overall nothing too notable with rain for the daytime hours. Following that, this evening, 6 p.m. onwards, when our best shot for seeing more numerous to scattered showers rolling through, and this will continue during the overnight, our best shot for any sustained rainfall. Then by tomorrow morning, scattered showers. As expected, I still think that Thursday will be more unsettled during the daytime hours than today. And then you can see that line of that cold front finally move through and will dry out as we head into Friday. Morning fog burns off and sunshine arrives with temperatures climbing back into the 70s. And again, a heads up regarding Tropical Storm Helene, expected to intensify to a Category 3, but shift out to the west, so this is not expected to impact us here locally. 7-day forecast. Following these two unsettled days, how about this stretch of weather, Gary? We've got 70s and dry weather continuing into the weekend and beyond. So, wow. Plans, go right ahead and enjoy the great weather. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, get through today and tomorrow, and then, boy, another great stretch here in September. Wow. Eric, thanks. Well, Utica is back in the spotlight September 25th, 2024.
Now, the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And plenty to get to this morning, including Helene, but let's take a look at our local forecast first, and some rain in the forecast.
Yeah, some rain. We had some rain roll through overnight. It's drying out temporarily, but we got more arriving later on this evening. So we're back to an unsettled pattern, but it will be temporary. Let's take a look at the current conditions out there right now. It's cloudy in the central New York area, reported by a few weather stations. Rain showers down in Binghamton, rain up in Saranac Lake as well as Glens Falls. Now Saranac Lake reporting heavier rainfall compared to other spots. Oneonta right now, cloudy, but most of the rain has definitely tapered off. Temperature sitting at the mid-50s. The radar right now is mainly dry over central New York, but we turn our attention to the west, to the east, to the north, to the south. Rain showers in almost every direction. In fact, zooming out a little bit, coming up in a little bit, we will see the fact that there's more rain on its way, but most of that doesn't really arrive until later on this evening, roughly 6 p.m. onwards. And then our best shot for rain overnight and into early Thursday. So unsettled conditions continue today. Highs in the mid-60s. It's another breezy, cool day, cloudy day. And we'll talk about when this rain comes to an end and when potentially nice weather returns in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Tropical Storm Helene making its way towards Florida. And again, it could be a Category 2 or Category 3 hurricane by the time it hits tomorrow night. Now, residents across Northwest Florida are preparing for any potential impacts. They're filling sandbags and stopping up on essentials. Officials are asking residents to make sure their hurricane kits are packed with plenty of food and water to last up to 10 days. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has declared a state of emergency for a large portion of the state. Forecasters say, again, they expect Helene to make landfall in Northwest Florida sometime tomorrow evening into Friday morning as a Category 2 or Category 3 hurricane. And some breaking news overnight. China has test-fired an intercontinental.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Welcome back to Sunrise. The time now is 6:14, and we'll start out with this. I know a lot of us do like dry stretches of weather, but at some point, you always do want to say we definitely need the rain, and we sure do in some spots. We're not in drought status, but we're still well behind with rainfall during this month of September. Now, as you can see here in Old Forge, well, still not quite able to see things right now. The connection right there to Old Forge a little bit iffy, but in Cooperstown right now, we've got quiet conditions. Rainfall has moved through, roads a little bit damp, but they're gradually drying out. Now, 50s are expected for the morning today, and we're not warming up by much with a better shot for rain as we head into the late evening and overnight hours. A live look at traffic flow across the region. There's only reports of some debris in the roadway on the I-90 area eastbound near exit 30. That's really about it here in central New York. And again, today, temperatures in the 50s to start, maybe an isolated sprinkle. That's really about it. Our best shot for rain arrives this evening. For some folks, much needed rainfall lingering through the overnight. And then we'll see a few scattered showers for your Thursday. And then following, of course, today and tomorrow, we'll see dry weather move in once more for Friday and potentially for the entire weekend. So we got good news on that front. We'll, of course, talk about that in a lot more detail, the timing and everything straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. History was made in Oneida.
Spoil your day. Tune in for the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast, brought to you by Munson. Visit Munson today and ignite curiosity and creativity. Visiting Munson and the Storm Tracker 2 Commutecast, both free and both Utica's very own. Remember, all roads lead to Munson. The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good Wednesday morning, everyone. Today started out with a few spotty showers. The rain has tapered off for the most part, and we're not expecting steady rainfall all day long, just mainly cloudy skies and a few spotty sprinkles. Downtown Utica right now, we're seeing the roads dry up after, again, those overnight showers. The heaviest of the rainfall fell in primarily the North Country. Some locations to the south and west only saw maybe trace amounts of rainfall, if that. It's been very difficult trying to get a consistent system producing a decent soaking rain this month of September. 56 and cloudy right now at Griffiths and Rome. Comfortable humidity, dew point at 53, but humidity will be on the rise as we head throughout this afternoon. Not too high, but slightly noticeable. Radar right now, pretty quiet here locally. Again, spotty sprinkle possible here and there, but will be more cloudy than rainy today. And following this afternoon, we'll have a better shot for rain as we head into this evening. As you can see here, disorganized rain bands here and there, but to the south and west is where that low pressure is arriving. Temperatures climbing as high as the mid-60s today. So one of those cooler and breezy September days. Definitely long sleeve shirt, maybe light jacket weather as you head out the door this morning, with wind speeds remaining pretty decent, 10 to 15 miles per hour. And on top of that, again, rain chances picking up as we head into this evening. Bigger picture, we've got just a disorganized area of low pressure mixed in with some, as you can see here, these black squiggly lines, low pressure troughs extending outwards. So this is not a very well-defined system. So we're not talking about black and white, rain starting, rain ending, and that's it. A low in the rain for now. Rain chances return as that low pressure finally surges north and east. And then following tomorrow, we'll see high pressure move in and sunshine arrive for your Friday. And so in our Skycast today, again, spotty sprinkle or light shower, otherwise mainly cloudy skies, temperatures as high as the mid-60s. This evening and tonight, that's when our good shot for rain arrives. And of course, this will linger with scattered showers for your Thursday. And then following that, that cold front will move through as we head into Thursday evening and Thursday night with patchy fog to start your Friday, and then sunshine arriving as we head into the afternoon. We have Tropical Storm Helene developing in the at least the Gulf right now, intensifying potentially as high as a Category 3, hitting the Big Bend of Florida and then extending out to the west, which means for us, this point is not expected to impact us here in central New York. But a guide's up, just let some of your family and friends know that live in that Big Bend area of Florida to make sure to prepare for a potential major hurricane. But for now, locally here, Gary, we've got nice weather, sunshine, temperatures as high as the mid-70s for the weekend.
Looking forward to that nice stretch yet again here in September.
Can't get away from the great weather.
Eric, thanks, and be sure to like us on
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we had quite a lengthy stretch, about 14 days with no rain. A little bit yesterday, but some more today, right?
Yeah, and for the most part, it'll take place during the overnight hours. So even today, not even too bad.
Wow.
Cloudy, breezy, cool, and maybe a stray sprinkle. So this morning, matter of fact, the conditions are already drying up after some overnight rain showers. Look at those current conditions across central New York, 50s and cloudy. Throughout the area to our south in Binghamton, rain is reported. Cloudy up in Saranac Lake and rain being reported in Glens Falls and out in the capital region in Albany. And a live look at Oneonta right now. No colorful sunrise today. The clouds a bit too thick and no clearing out to the east at this point. The radar this morning, again, mainly dry over central New York. We're cutting it close with a few spotty showers and light sprinkles. And today favors more clouds than rain, to give you guys a heads up that it's not going to be a complete washout, but the best chance for rainfall will be as we head into late this evening and tonight. That's when that low pressure arrives. And this will bring numerous showers overnight into early tomorrow morning. A bit more unsettled for your Thursday as well. But for today, though, we got 60s, cloudy skies, breezy conditions. Definitely want to wear that long sleeve shirt, maybe light jacket. I think that's the type of weather we'll be seeing for today. But following that, we'll of course talk about when this rainfall ends and when we could see a return to dry weather in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. President Biden made his fourth and final address to the United Nations.
Welcome back to Sunrise. On this Wednesday, we are taking a look at our third fall photo of the day. And this one takes us back up in the North Country up to Inlet, specifically near the Big Moose River, where we are seeing some of the fall colors here. And as you can see, slightly muted. That's what some of our folks, sky watchers, and reports from all across parts of the North Country have been saying about the fall foliage this year. Again, hopefully we see more vibrant reds and purples and darker oranges. For now, looks to be light browns and yellows and maybe some even tan leaves there as well. So for now, that's how some of the fall foliage is shaping up. And again, we're getting close to peak colors in parts of the highest elevations in the Adirondacks. We'll of course talk about that as we head into the next few days. But again, if you want to submit a photo like this one, share your neck of the woods, tell us how fall foliage is shaping up. Send your photo to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Well, let's take a look at the radar right now. Here locally, we're actually pretty dry. A spotty light sprinkle possible here and there during the daytime today, but more clouds than rain is expected. But as we head into tonight, that might be changing a bit more on the unsettled side. We'll talk about that in that forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Now to some local soccer action.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, Central New York. This Wednesday, we're starting out with cloudy skies, and a few overnight rain showers have tapered off and shifted to the north and east. Downtown Utica right now, we are seeing that overcast for pretty much all of the local area. Temperatures sitting at the 50s, 56 cloudy, comfortable levels of humidity with that dew point rising a little bit as we head into this afternoon. But again, key thing here, winds remaining a bit breezy once more from the east-southeast. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We've got dry conditions here in the Mohawk Valley. A few spotty showers popping up here and there, but that's really about it with rainfall for the daytime hours today. More clouds than rain, as most of those showers either to our east, to our west, or to our north. Now, zooming out, we can see the arrival of a few more spotty showers to the border of New York and Pennsylvania. But again, that low pressure arrives later on today. Temperatures peaking into the mid-60s. It's going to be a cool and breezy one today. Definitely want to grab that long sleeve shirt, light jacket. Not quite t-shirt weather, that's for sure, for today. But for the most part, it's going to be a drier day. You'll keep that umbrella handy, but might not need to use it too much during the daytime today, but maybe during the evening, if you have a late commute home, you might run into those showers. Bigger picture, we've got low pressure out to our west, but notice we've got black lines here, lots of squigglies. This is a very disorganized low pressure, which means that the rainfall is not going to be black and white start and finish, where it arrives, ends, and we're done. We got that rain that moved through overnight, a lull in the rain temporarily before more showers arrive later on this evening through the overnight hours. And then those fronts combine, we'll see that low pressure exit to our east, and then we'll see high pressure move in as we head into Friday. And so in our Skycast today, cloudy skies, chance of a light sprinkle, but mainly dry. Then this evening and tonight, we'll see the surge of more rain showers. Hopefully this produces a good soaking rain. We haven't really had that in quite a while. Then following this, we'll see scattered showers throughout the day Thursday before that cold front sweeps through. Patchy fog moves in for your Friday, and then we see sunshine by Friday afternoon. Now lastly, talking about Tropical Storm Helene in the Gulf. It's going to rapidly intensify between now and when it hits landfall or hits land around Thursday night into Friday as a Category 3, Category 2, and then shift out to the west, meaning that this will not likely impact us here locally, which is great news because we not have a good track record with remnants of hurricanes this year. But again, your 7-day forecast following that, we've got sunshine moving in for this weekend. And that looks to stay temporarily through Monday and Tuesday of next week. Great weather, Gary.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. The votes are in, and America's Got Talent has crowned its
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, Central New York. After some overnight rain showers, conditions are favoring cloudy skies and potentially a light sprinkle during the daytime hours today. Let's take a look at that radar and satellite right now, see how things are shaping up in the bigger picture. We've got some rain bands shifting to the north. Again, this dry slot moving in with maybe an isolated sprinkle, but our rainmaker is actually still to our south and to our west. This will surge north and fire up scattered to numerous showers as we head into the overnight tonight. But of course, for the daytime today, not too bad, at least with rainfall throughout the next 12 or so hours. Temperatures climbing as high as the mid-60s today, so it's slightly cooler than average, and as well as it's going to be breezy. So definitely one of those days where you keep that light jacket handy, maybe wear that long sleeve shirt. I wouldn't say shorts weather or t-shirt weather is expected today. Wind speeds, as you can see here, as high as 10 to 15 miles per hour. So breezy, cool, cloudy. sunshine not peeking out pretty much at all today. That would offer at least some hope for at least a sunny, warmer 60-degree day. But I always feel that the 60s and sun is always warmer than 60s and clouds. Bigger picture, we got not only low pressure to our west, we got some squiggly black lines here, which are troughs extending out. So this is a bit of a messy low pressure system approaching our area. So we're not talking about black and white, rain arriving, rain leaving, and then we're done. That rain arrived overnight. We're dry temporarily, but yet again, more rain is arriving overnight tonight and into most of the early day tomorrow. Then that cold front sweeps through and we got high pressure moving in for your Friday, which will turn pretty pleasant actually. And so in our Skycast this morning, cloudy skies, 60s and 50s, a spotty light shower possible. This evening, 5 to 6 p.m. onwards, we'll see this surge of rainfall arrive between roughly 8 p.m. to around midnight. This will move through, hopefully producing a good soaking rain. I know it's been quite a while since we've seen it here in central New York. Then following that, we'll see scattered showers for your Thursday. That cold front sweeps through right around the mid to late afternoon, bringing quiet conditions overnight into Friday. Now there's patchy fog Friday morning. That fog lifts. We'll see sunshine by Friday afternoon with comfortable temperatures as high as the mid-70s. Now, real quick, heading to our south, we're keeping a close eye on Tropical Storm Helene, which is going to be rapidly intensifying, going from tropical storm status with 65-mile-per-hour winds to as high as Category 2 or Category 3 hurricane status with some stronger winds as it hits roughly around the Big Bend area of Florida, extending through Georgia, then into parts of Tennessee and Kentucky, shifting out to the west. This is not going to behave like some other hurricanes or remnants of hurricanes we've seen this season, which shifted east. This is not going to impact us here locally, but again, if you know friends and family in this location here, the Gulf shores of Florida heading into the Panhandle, just let them know and say, hey, just prepare a little bit in case this storm does in fact impact them directly. So for now, just check on you with your friends and family. But here in central New York, of course, we're not tracking any impact with that. Matter of fact, complete the opposite. By Saturday and Sunday, high pressure moving in. We got quiet conditions, 70s, sunshine. That continues into the early part of next week.
Carcraft, New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, central New York. After some overnight rain showers, conditions are favoring cloudy skies and potentially a light sprinkle during the daytime hours today. Let's take a look at that radar and satellite right now, see how things are shaping up in the bigger picture. We've got some rain bands shifting to the north. Again, this dry slot moving in with maybe an isolated sprinkle, but our rainmaker is actually still to our south and to our west. This will surge north and fire up scattered to numerous showers as we head into the overnight tonight. But of course, for the daytime today, not too bad, at least with rainfall throughout the next 12 or so hours. Temperatures climbing as high as the mid-60s today, so it's slightly cooler than average, and as well as it's going to be breezy. So definitely one of those days where you keep that light jacket handy, maybe wear that long sleeve shirt. I wouldn't say shorts weather or t-shirt weather is expected today. Wind speeds, as you can see here, as high as 10 to 15 miles per hour. So breezy, cool, cloudy, sunshine not peeking out pretty much at all today. That would offer at least some hope for at least a sunny, warmer 60-degree day. But I always feel that the 60s and sun is always warmer than 60s and clouds. Bigger picture, we got not only low pressure to our west, we got some squiggly black lines here, which are troughs extending out. So this is a bit of a messy low pressure system approaching our area. So we're not talking about black and white, rain arriving, rain leaving, and then we're done. That rain arrived overnight. We're dry temporarily, but yet again, more rain is arriving overnight tonight and into most of the early day tomorrow. Then that cold front sweeps through and we got high pressure moving in for your Friday, which will turn pretty pleasant actually. And so in our Skycast this morning, cloudy skies, 60s and 50s, a spotty light shower possible. This evening, 5 to 6 p.m. onwards, we'll see this surge of rainfall arrive between roughly 8 p.m. to around midnight. This will move through, hopefully producing a good soaking rain. I know it's been quite a while since we've seen it here in central New York. Then following that, we'll see scattered showers for your Thursday. That cold front sweeps through right around the mid to late afternoon, bringing quiet conditions overnight into Friday. Now there's patchy fog Friday morning. That fog lifts. We'll see sunshine by Friday afternoon with comfortable temperatures as high as the mid-70s. Now real quick, heading to our south, we're keeping a close eye on Tropical Storm Helene, which is going to be rapidly intensifying, going from tropical storm status with 65-mile-per-hour winds to as high as Category 2 or Category 3 hurricane status with some stronger winds as it hits roughly around the Big Bend area of Florida, extending through Georgia, then into parts of Tennessee and Kentucky, shifting out to the west. This is not going to behave like some other hurricanes or remnants of hurricanes we've seen this season, which shifted east. This is not going to impact us here locally, but again, if you know friends and family in this location here, the Gulf shores of Florida heading into the Panhandle, just let them know and say, hey, just prepare a little bit in case this storm does in fact impact them directly. So for now, just check on you with your friends and family, but here in central New York, of course, we're not tracking any impact with that. Matter of fact, complete the opposite. By Saturday and Sunday, high pressure moving in. We got quiet conditions, 70s, sunshine. That continues into the early part of next week.
When a doctor looks most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, central New York. After some overnight rain showers, conditions are favoring cloudy skies and potentially a light sprinkle during the daytime hours today. Let's take a look at that radar and satellite right now, see how things are shaping up in the bigger picture. We've got some rain bands shifting to the north. Again, this dry slot moving in with maybe an isolated sprinkle, but our rainmaker is actually still to our south and to our west. This will surge north and fire up scattered to numerous showers as we head into the overnight tonight. But of course, for the daytime today, not too bad, at least with rainfall throughout the next 12 or so hours. Temperatures climbing as high as the mid-60s today, so it's slightly cooler than average, and as well as it's going to be breezy. So definitely one of those days where you keep that light jacket handy, maybe wear that long sleeve shirt. I wouldn't say shorts weather or t-shirt weather is expected today. Wind speeds, as you can see here, as high as 10 to 15 miles per hour. So breezy, cool, cloudy, sunshine not peeking out pretty much at all today. That would offer at least some hope for at least a sunny, warmer 60-degree day. But I always feel that the 60s and sun is always warmer than 60s and clouds. Bigger picture, we got not only low pressure to our west, we got some squiggly black lines here, which are troughs extending out. So this is a bit of a messy low pressure system approaching our area. So we're not talking about black and white, rain arriving, rain leaving, and then we're done. That rain arrived overnight. We're dry temporarily, but yet again, more rain is arriving overnight tonight and into most of the early day tomorrow. Then that cold front sweeps through and we got high pressure moving in for your Friday, which will turn pretty pleasant actually. And so in our Skycast this morning, cloudy skies, 60s and 50s, a spotty light shower possible. This evening, 5 to 6 p.m. onwards, we'll see this surge of rainfall arrive between roughly 8 p.m. to around midnight. This will move through, hopefully producing a good soaking rain. I know it's been quite a while since we've seen it here in central New York. Then following that, we'll see scattered showers for your Thursday. That cold front sweeps through right around the mid to late afternoon, bringing quiet conditions overnight into Friday. Now there's patchy fog Friday morning. That fog lifts. We'll see sunshine by Friday afternoon with comfortable temperatures as high as the mid-70s. Now, real quick, heading to our south, we're keeping a close eye on Tropical Storm Helene, which is going to be rapidly intensifying, going from tropical storm status with 65-mile-per-hour winds to as high as Category 2 or Category 3 hurricane status with some stronger winds as it hits roughly around the Big Bend area of Florida, extending through Georgia, then into parts of Tennessee and Kentucky, shifting out to the west. This is not going to behave like some other hurricanes or remnants of hurricanes we've seen this season, which shifted east. This is not going to impact us here locally, but again, if you know friends and family in this location here, the Gulf shores of Florida heading into the Panhandle, just let them know and say, hey, just prepare a little bit in case this storm does in fact impact them directly. So for now, just check on you with your friends and family. But here in central New York, of course, we're not tracking any impact with that. Matter of fact, complete the opposite. By Saturday and Sunday, high pressure moving in. We got quiet conditions, 70s, sunshine. That continues into the early part of next week.
Eric Gaze joining us now, and the good news, at least as far as Helene goes, we won't see any remnants. Yeah, the storm is going to move up to the lower 48 and then hit a wall of high pressure, keeping us generally clear of the rain from that. But let's take a look at the overall track right now. Here's Helene. It is now a Category 1, wind speed of 80 miles per hour, and it's going to rapidly intensify. Very warm Gulf waters here. A reminder, the Hurricane Center forecasted above average year for hurricanes. Doesn't necessarily mean more hurricanes, but it just means the ocean here is very warm and very favorable for storms to intensify quickly. From a almost not even a Category 1 hurricane about a few hours ago to a major hurricane as it makes landfall right on the Big Bend near the Panhandle here, and that takes place around 8 p.m. with wind speeds of around 125 miles per hour. But notice as it heads north, it still skews out to the west and then falls apart.
Now here locally, right now we've got cloudy skies, somewhat dreary conditions, breezy temperatures in the 50s and 60s, and some locations seeing some spotty showers. For example, some right along the I-90 corridor just south of Rome, heading closer to Oneida and central Oneida County, and as well as the North Country as well. So again, today, temperatures peaking in the mid-60s. It's going to be a rather cool and breezy one. Best shot for more widespread rain arrives tonight, with lows falling down into the upper 50s, low 60s. We're talking about how long this rain sticks around and when we could see some more sunshine return straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. In Washington later today, the House is expected to pass a funding bill.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are tracking clouds, patchy rain showers, overall an unsettled and dreary day out there today. Downtown Utica, looking outside right now, again, mainly overcast skies. We're not likely to really see the sun too much today. But for now, again, it's very fall-like out there. 58 with light rain at Griffiths and Rome. A decent wind from the east-southeast to 8 miles per hour. So again, wind direction remaining consistent. And a live look right now at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We got a few spottier showers pretty much in areas north and west of Utica, heading up to the North Country. Boonville, a decent rain shower. Old Forge, same thing. Heading up to Lowville and heading into Oswego County. But areas to the south looking relatively dry right now. This is an initial surge of moisture. We'll see a dry spell move in and then more rain showers arriving as we head into this evening and overnight. This is our best shot for consistent rainfall. I know some locations probably have seen more steady rainfall than not, but other locations you can see here in Otsego County almost completely dry as a bone. Today we started out in the 50s. We're up into the 60s this afternoon. So again, it's a very cool and breezy day today. But regarding that cloud cover, although we have overcast skies today and for most of tomorrow, as we head into Friday and Saturday, we have a lot more opportunity for sunshine. Now, what I mean by a few clouds is we're not going to be entirely cloud-free, especially to the south, because we're going to see the remnants of the Hurricane Helene. Well, not quite the remnants hitting our area, but you can see the clouds to the south, and it'll be very close. Some of the clouds and rain showers will go as far north as Pennsylvania before falling apart. But notice right here, it's called the Fujiwara effect. Basically, we got low pressure already in the southeast. Now this hurricane barrels inland, hits this low pressure, and it spirals and combines, weakening in the process. So this low pressure right here is what's saving our area, along with high pressure to the north, from seeing any remnants of this hurricane. Usually they like to steer north and east into the northeastern part of the U.S. But for today, though, again, clouds, spotty showers, better rate for consistent rainfall as we head into tonight and early tomorrow. Following that, we'll see scattered showers for your Thursday, with that cold front moving through roughly in the late evening, with patchy fog to start Friday and sunshine by the afternoon. And so your 7-day forecast following the next couple of days of unsettled conditions. Here comes the sun for Saturday and Sunday, lingering into the start of the work week next week. So not too bad of a stretch. Upper 60s, low 70s, but the 60s and 70s with sunshine is warmer than 60s and 70s with clouds.
Yeah, that's for
Definitely
sure.
Notice it. So,
Yeah, nice stretch coming again.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. Now to the latest from this Eric Gage. Eric Gage joins us now, and today kind of feels like fall finally.
Yeah, fall-like feel out there. We got cool, breezy conditions. It's a cloudy day too as well, with a few spotty showers. And look at those weather headlines out there today. Again, we're tracking cool and breezy conditions. Better chances for rain arrive late this evening through tomorrow evening. I know some of you are probably seeing showers out your window right now, but a lot of folks aren't still, and that's going to be the case for the next 3 to 4 hours before more widespread rain again arrives tonight through tomorrow evening. Sunshine, though, eventually makes its return for the weekend. As you can see right here now, not so sunny, and this will be a common sight over the next day or so. 50s and 60s here in central New York with some spotty showers. Some of them are exiting to the north and not a lot of rainfall activity taking place to the south at this point. But again, next 12 hours, you got highs in the mid-60s, barely reaching the mid-60s, with a better shot for showers overnight and into tomorrow. We'll talk about when those showers end and how long this dry stretch into the weekend lasts. Straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And a Oriskany Falls man is facing false personation and...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a cool, breezy, and cloudy day outside with a few spotty showers. Overall, unsettled conditions have taken hold over central New York, but let's take a look outside in Utica right now. And again, it's dry. Not everyone's seeing these showers early today. Currently sitting at 57 with light rain at Griffiths and Rome. Dew point sitting at 55, so slightly muggy out there today. And what I mean by not everyone's seeing rain, some of you are probably seeing some slightly heavier rain showers just north of Utica, heading towards Barneveld and up near just south of Boonville. But besides that, areas to the south between I-90 and Route 20 looking almost entirely dry right now. And the trend of this system is it's going to continue to shift more north and east. Now, a lull in the rain is expected temporarily before more showers arrive late this evening and into tonight. The high temperature today is only expected to climb into the mid-60s. It's going to be a cool one again. Breezy, wind speeds between 10 and 15 miles per hour, and of course, a lack of sunshine. Now, of course, that will return as we head into Friday and Saturday as low pressure exits our area, and we'll see high pressure return. It's pretty much been the case for most of the September, but we are looking relatively, in fact, almost entirely much more dry this month compared to last month. Most locations barely picking up an inch or so of rainfall across central New York, and even some spots well below average for rainfall, at least for this time of year. Skycast showing those showers pushing to the north and east. Cloudy skies persisting until this evening before more showers roll through tonight into early tomorrow. Following that, scattered showers for your Thursday. High temperatures in the upper 60s before that cold front sweeps through. We'll dry out with some patchy fog for your Friday morning, followed by sunshine as we head into Friday afternoon. But the one plus side to this high pressure moving in from the north, as well as to the low pressure sticking to the south of us, is that'll steer Hurricane Helene away from us and keep us dry heading into the weekend. And as you can see here, 7-day forecast, we've got sunshine for your Friday, a few clouds to the south, more sun expected Saturday, but again, as you head farther to, say, the border of Otsego and ending onto Delaware County, you'll start to see a few more clouds in the sky, but as you far to the north, more sunshine is expected. Regardless, the rain showers depart south of us, and we'll see plenty of sun continue through the start of the work week. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Out in Buffalo, a
Palace.
We'll get to those stories in just a minute, but first we're going to start in the Weather Center where Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis is tracking showers. Hey, the first significant rain we've had in just about 2 weeks, really.
I thought about pulling the button, pushing the alert button today.
Yeah.
There's weather going on.
Finally.
This is actually a really good thing, Jason. Let's take a look at what's going on. It's been over 2 weeks since we've had any beneficial rainfall. We really could use it, and we are getting it today. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It is lit up. We've got moderate rain moving across central New York. More rain to come to the west. It's a steady soaking rain. This is not really heavy. We're not concerned about any flooding. Well, if anything, like I said, we could really use the rain. The streams are running really low. Here's how much rain has fallen so far today. Most areas about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain. lesser amounts as you head into some of the lower elevations, including the Mohawk Valley. But again, we're continuing to tally this up. Current temperature 58 degrees. Again, it's a little bit cooler because of the steady rain. We'll stay in the 50s here as we head into this evening. Continuing to track some showers tonight into Thursday. Looks nice for high school football. This weather should dry out. We're also keeping the latest updates on Hurricane Helene and where that storm is headed and if that's going to bring any impacts to us here in central New York. Showers this evening will be in the 50s. Again, tracking rainfall and when things get a chance to dry out, and that's coming out. Jason, back to you.
All right, Bill, thank you. And Oswego County.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're getting some much needed rainfall across central New York. It's steady, it's widespread, and it is a dreary day, but again, we need this. Live look in downtown Utica. The lawn is thirsty. It's been over almost 2 weeks since we've had anything quite like this. Temperature 57 degrees. Again, a dreary one here in downtown Utica. Do watch out for some patchy fog tonight that could reduce visibility. We're continuing to track steady rain approaching from the west. Bands of some heavier rain in our area up towards Boonville, Little Falls. This is all moving to the north and east at about 35 miles an hour. So I think another 1 to 2 hours of steady rain before things start to taper off as we head into this evening. More showers will be around as we head into early Thursday, all thanks to an area of low pressure driving our weather for about the next 24 hours. With the rain, it is cooler. Dolgeville, 58 degrees. Westernville, 60. West Berlin, 56. Deansboro, 59. Across the southern valleys, Cooperstown, 60. Oneonta, 55. And Sherburne with 59. So again, you're going to want to keep that umbrella handy and maybe a light coat with temperatures in the 50s throughout the course of this evening. If you do have to cut the lawn with the rain, it's going to start to grow again or grow a little bit faster. Tomorrow's not the day to do it. We're expecting showers around Friday and Saturday. The weather looks a lot nicer. Our Mowcast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Again, a round of rain moving through the region this evening. More to come as an area of low pressure swings through. The center of the storm is actually to the north and west, but it is dragging a cold front with it. Until that cold front clears the area, we're going to run the risk for rain. So I expect more development of showers as we head into tonight as well as tomorrow. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast showers tonight. Overnight lows drop down into the 50s. Tomorrow we start out with showers in the morning. The wettest part of the day will be the first half, but a cold front will move through. In fact, you can kind of see it here on Skycast. Some steadier showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. It's kind of on the fringe of the scenarios, but it is possible that we could see a rumble of thunder as this cold front rolls through. We will see a change in the weather for tomorrow evening. Skies are expected to clear out, and it looks a lot nicer on Friday. Some patchy fog in the morning. That gives way to sunshine. Should be a really nice afternoon and evening for high school football. The latest on Hurricane Helene. It's not good. It's now a hurricane, 85-mile-an-hour winds. It's expected to rapidly develop. And unfortunately, the National Hurricane Center has now upped this to a Category 4 storm before it makes landfall along the Big Bend of Florida. So it is not looking good for the folks down here. As far as our local weather goes, this is expected to steer to the north and west, and it's not expected to drive our weather in any which way, which is a little unusual, again, because a lot of these storms will ride up the East Coast. This one will not. Showers tonight, 58 for the overnight low. Tomorrow, showers, breezy, 70 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather looks nice as we head into the weekend. Maybe a little bit more cloud cover on Saturday compared to Sunday. Temperatures in the 70s. The weather stays nice through Monday and Tuesday, but then you can kind of see the beginning of a weather pattern change looking ahead to Wednesday. Some cooler weather on the horizon.
Let's just enjoy the next 5 days.
We got a lot of nice days ahead before that happens.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Bill. Well, you heard Bill. Helene spins through the warm Gulf waters in the southeastern U.S. Florida right in the path. Tampa International Airport announced it's suspending all commercial and cargo operations. That takes effect at 2 a.m. Michael Yoshida reports.
You still have time to make the preparations and put your plan in place today, but that time is running out.
And running out fast. Helene is now a hurricane, swirling past Mexico and tracking toward landfall in Florida. And preparing for the worst is a moving target.
Conditions may very well, in the wide range of possibilities, be a Cat 1 all the way to a Cat 4. Many areas to the south are already beginning to feel the impact from the storm.
Part of that impact is tropical storm force winds and rain, lashing the Keys and southern Florida. In the hours ahead, those conditions will intensify and batter the entire western coastline before an expected landfall in the Big Bend area Thursday evening.
Many of our counties, if not all of them, have called for low-lying and manufactured housing evacuations already.
A term being used a lot by officials this week. You can hide from the wind, but run from the water.
If you do have a major surge and you stay behind, that is potentially hazardous.
Forecasters are gauging Helene's storm surge to hit between 5 and 15 feet in many areas. Many veterans of previous hurricanes like Ian and Idalia are opting to stay put.
I always draw up lots of water ahead of time, make sure I got food in the house, all that.
We're going surfing. We're hitting those waves.
Still others realize that staying is risky.
If you're a godly person, pray, because I don't really need this. Neither do any of us.
In Steinhatchee, Florida, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
The governor has signed new legislation. Meteorologist Bill Curtis. All right, this was something we talked about last night, the Fujiwara effect.
Yeah, there's something interesting happening in the atmosphere that explains why Hurricane Helene is not going to be making it to central New York. A lot of times these storms come right up the East Coast. Yes, there is high pressure in place, but it's more than that. It's an area of low pressure to the west of Helene, I should say, as this storm makes its way up the Gulf and it makes landfall in Florida. There's going to be another area of low pressure to the west. When you have two areas of low pressure near each other, what happens is they will rotate around each other. This is called the Fujiwara effect. And sometimes if they get in close enough proximity, they will sometimes combine, which will also be the case with this storm. Again, it's going to pull the storm to the west and prevent it from making its way into central New York. So we won't have to worry about that. But again, it is going to be a very big deal for Florida, potentially as a Category 4 making landfall. Temperatures over the next 7 days will be in the 70s. Some pleasant weather. We're tracking some rain out there this evening. It's a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Keep the umbrella handy if you're taking the dog out for a walk. Temperatures will be in the 50s. Tonight's featured dog, Lee, from New Hartford. This is brought to you by Nye Automotive Group. Again, tracking rainfall for about the next 24 hours. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Fascinating stuff, Bill. Thank you. Students from
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking widespread rain, cooler temperatures today. Let's take a live look outside. This is Oneonta, cloudy, temperature of 55, and the rain is widespread and steady. And again, we need it. It's been very dry. Many areas today picking up about a quarter to about a half an inch of rain from this round that's moving through this evening. It's a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, rounds of rain, most of us seeing moderate rain, some lighter returns showing up on the radar too. The back edge of this is to the west, and so we have about another hour to hour and a half of steady rain before this ends up showing up, and we'll get a chance to dry out as we head into this evening. Watch out for some patchy fog tonight. More rain is on the way as we head into very early tomorrow. Check on the sunset times. Tonight, 6:52. Of course, you're not going to see the sun with the clouds in the way, but it will be getting dark very rapidly here over the next couple of weeks. And notice how much daylight we lose here. By this time next month, the sunset is going to be close to 6 o'clock. Looking at the MoCast, if you do need to cut the lawn tomorrow, not a great day. Showers around. Friday, Saturday look better. Our MoCast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Skywatchers checking in. Whitesboro 60 degrees rather. Bob and Clinton 59. Mike in New Hartford 59 degrees. Norway, Donna 57. Eric in Inlet 55. Westford 58. Paynes Hollow 58 degrees. The radar and satellite image shows widespread rain. An area of low pressure to the north and west is driving our weather. It's going to carry a cold front with it as we head into tonight and early tomorrow, and that will bring another round of rain. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast showers continue tonight, but we do get a chance to dry out as we get into tomorrow. It starts out wet at 8 o'clock in the morning. A cold front comes in the afternoon. You can see some showers, some downpours. The winds may briefly pick up along this front too. And we could have a few rumbles of thunder. It's possible, but that's not going to be the norm. The front's going to head to the south and east, and then we get a chance to dry out heading into Thursday evening. Dry weather for Friday. We start out with some patchy fog, but then we should see sunshine and a lovely Friday. Should be great weather for high school football. Temperatures in the 70s. An update on Helene. It's expected to become a major hurricane, a Category 1 storm now, but rapid intensification is expected, and it's not good news for the folks along the Big Bend of Florida. This looks like it's going to make a direct landfall, probably close to Tallahassee. And again, this could be a big storm. As far as we're concerned, with that turn to the west, it will stay out of central New York. Showers this evening, 58. More showers early tomorrow, breezy, temperatures near 70. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sunshine returns Friday, 70 for the high. The weather looks pretty nice over the weekend. Temperatures in the 70s both Saturday and Sunday. Saturday looks a little bit cloudier than Sunday, but it does look dry through Tuesday with chances for rain on Wednesday and highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. We'll be right back.
First look at the forecast at 6. Here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Widespread rain continues to move through central New York this evening. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Rain is steady, and it is very much needed here. It's been very dry over the past 2 weeks, but we are getting a soaking rain. Preliminary numbers coming in so far. Rainfall totals ranging between about 1/4 to 1/2 inch. And again, we're still tallying this up as the rain moves in. We do notice some breaks of the rain to the west, so I'm thinking about another hour of steady rain before things temporarily taper off. Current temperature 58 degrees. We've got cool, breezy conditions out there. You definitely want to keep the umbrella handy this evening. Showers continue into tonight as well as tomorrow, especially in the morning. The weather looks nice for high school football as well as the weekend. And we've got the latest on Helene, which is expected to become a major hurricane. In fact, a new update from the National Hurricane Center on the track and intensity of that storm as it heads towards Florida. Showers this evening, temperatures in the 50s. We've got to look at that forecast tracking when this rain comes to an end, and that's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. An Oswego County Sheriff's deputy was killed in a crash early this morning while
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Dreary conditions continue across central New York as widespread rain continues. Let's take a live look in Old Forge. A temperature of 54 degrees. Widespread steady soaking rain continues. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. You can see the rain affecting all of central New York. Falling heavy in some areas, steady throughout. The back edge of this rain is approaching Syracuse, so we've got about another hour of steady rain before we do get some breaks. When the rain moves to the east and things do start to dry out, we'll likely see some patchy fog develop as we head past sunset. Just something to keep in mind if you're going to be traveling. Breezy conditions continue tomorrow, but the winds will become much lighter as we head into the weekend. We've got a very nice weather pattern that's expected to unfold across our area. Skywatchers, our neighbors, checking in with the temperature. Bob and Clinton 59. Forestport 55, Helen and Cassville 59 degrees, Jeff and Mohawk 58, Donna in Norway 57, Dave in Westford 58, Carol in Worcester 59, and Scott in Edmonston with 58 degrees. So we look at the radar and satellite image. We've got showers continuing across the region. We've got an area of low pressure to the north and west. It's going to drag a cold front with it for the day tomorrow, and that'll be our next weather maker. It's all part of the same system, so we don't really get a chance to dry out for very long, at least over the next 24 hours. Tonight, showers continue, patchy fog, overnight lows will be in the upper 50s. Tomorrow we start out wet, 8 o'clock in the morning, keep the umbrella handy. A cold front moves through, and this is expected to arrive in the afternoon. You kind of see it here on Skycast with this line across the screen. This could create some rumbles of thunder. I think it'll be few and far between. At the very least, some heavier showers moving through, and then we get a chance to dry out as we head into tomorrow night. The weather looks great on Friday. Hurricane Helene. Right now, it's a Category 1 storm. It's expected to rapidly intensify. The update from the National Hurricane Center makes this a Category 4 storm with winds in excess of 125 miles an hour before making landfall. This is expected to be a really big deal for the folks along the Big Bend. The storm is expected to turn to the west in an unusual, there's an unusual reason too. This is something called the Fujiwara effect. Bottom line, low pressure to the west is going to pull the storm to the west. This is why it's not going to take that traditional track up the East Coast. It's going to get captured by an area of low pressure. It's going to keep it out of central New York. So lucky for us, not so lucky for the folks that'll have to deal with this. Showers tonight, 58 for the low. Tomorrow, showers, especially in the morning, breezy, 70 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. A nice stretch of weather over the weekend. More clouds on Saturday compared to Sunday, but the weather looks nice. We're into the 70s. Dry on Monday and Tuesday. Showers return Wednesday.
Watch out in Florida, though.
It's going to be a big deal, yeah.
Not much more on that tonight at 10 and 11. Thanks, Bill. Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6. We're going to break down the day.
News with Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Hurricane Helene is rapidly intensifying as it heads towards Florida, gaining speed as it spins through the warm Gulf waters, the southeastern U.S. in its path. It is forecast to strengthen to a catastrophic Category 4 hurricane ahead of Florida landfall. The storm currently has 5 states under emergency declarations. Michael Yoshida has the latest in our top story tonight.
Hurricane Helene getting stronger. Wednesday evening, the National Hurricane Center upped its forecast for the storm, predicting Helene will be a Category 4 before it makes landfall Thursday afternoon.
In many areas to the south are already beginning to feel the impact from the storm.
Part of that impact, tropical storm force winds, stretching more than 400 miles and rain lashing the Keys in southern Florida. Helene is expected to hit near Apalachicola, Florida, but much of Florida and parts of Georgia will also experience strong winds and several inches of rain.
So when those trees start to topple, they take lines down with them, and I think we're going to see some significant power outages, probably nothing like we've seen because it's 159 counties wide.
Forecasters are gauging Helene's storm surge potentially climbing to 20 feet along some parts of the coast. Experts say it will likely be the strongest hurricane to hit the U.S. in over a year. Many veterans of previous hurricanes like Ian and Idalia are opting to stay put.
I always draw up lots of water ahead of time, make sure I got food in the house.
If you're a godly person, pray.
The clock running out for those trying to prepare.
It's essentially you've got tomorrow to prep. After tomorrow, you need to be able to shelter and hunker in place until it's passed.
In Steinhatchee, Florida, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Let's get a first look at our forecast with meteorologist James DeFazio.
Good evening. Here we are taking a look at the live Doppler radar. We had quite a few showers move through earlier this evening. Got about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch of rainfall across the region. Current conditions at Roan, 58 degrees. Dew point is at 56, which does lead us to believe that we are going to have some areas of fog this evening. What are we taking a look at? Showers will continue scattered tonight and more widespread Thursday. We have a beautiful weekend ahead for high school football, and we will have the latest on the forecast for Hurricane Helene, and as well as whether or not that will be affecting us locally. And tonight, showers scattered, low about 58 degrees. Jason?
All right, thanks, James. New tonight, Rome Mayor Lanigan.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired.
Good evening. Here we are taking a look at the Oneonta webcam. You can see we do have mostly cloudy skies out over Oneonta. Most of the precipitation has moved north, and we are in a bit of a dry spell before we have more precipitation moving in tomorrow morning. What we're tracking, showers are going to continue both scattered tonight and more widespread for tomorrow. We have a nice weekend ahead with beautiful weather expected for high school football, and we are going to have the latest on Hurricane Helene for you, as well as whether or not that is going to be an issue for us locally here in central New York. Current conditions at Rome, 58 degrees. It's cloudy, feels like 58 out there. It's a tad muggy with a dew point of 56. This does lead us to believe we may see some areas of patchy fog both later this evening as well as earlier tomorrow morning. Current temperatures around the state, 58 in Rome, 57 Hamilton, 57 in Binghamton. Slightly warmer out towards the west. You can see out in Buffalo and Rochester, we have temperatures in the upper 60s. Looking at the radar and satellite, you can see the big swath of precipitation that moved through earlier this evening that brought us a general half-inch of rain. Some areas did see a tad less, a tad more. We do have another area of low pressure which will begin to work in throughout the overnight and overspread the region. And by morning, rainfall will become much more widespread. Taking a look at the skycast. Tonight, 61 degrees at 11 o'clock. We are going to dip right into the mid-50s. But you can see that rainfall scattered throughout the evening, becoming pretty widespread by 8 o'clock in the morning. 64 degrees right at 8 a.m. It is a warm morning. Rainfall is around throughout the majority of the day. You will see here, you can almost see the back end of our cold front that is bringing our precipitation. And once this does move through, our weather will quiet down, things will begin to calm down, dry out, cool off. Showers will linger the absolute latest in the southern valleys as well as to the east, a little bit more so than for central New York and northern Oneida County. Moving forward into Friday, things clear out. We soar right back up to about 70 degrees on Friday. Still some patchy areas of fog Friday morning. Overall, an absolutely beautiful day by the midday. And Hurricane Helene. This is now forecast to make landfall as a major hurricane, a Category 4. It's going to do a number on the Big Bend region. What is going to keep this from affecting us? A very rare phenomenon known as the Fujiwara effect. The Fujiwara effect is when two areas of low pressure interact with one another and they can combine when they rotate and influence each other. That is going to allow for us to stay dry in our area, and it will keep Hurricane Helene out in the central portions of the country. Tonight, temperatures 58 degrees with showers. Tomorrow, 70, breezy, showers continue. Look at our 7-day forecast. Showers continue, widespread tomorrow. We do have a lingering shower possible for Friday morning. All in all, though, by midday, an absolutely beautiful day. Start a warming trend for Saturday, partly cloudy skies Saturday and Sunday. Above average temperatures in the mid-70s, back to more seasonable weather by Tuesday. And Wednesday, we are fall-like with a chance for rain yet again. And we will be right back.
With Jason Palace.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Hurricane Helene is rapidly intensifying as it heads towards Florida, gaining speed as it spins through the warm Gulf waters, the southeastern U.S. in its path. It is forecast to strengthen into a catastrophic Category 4 hurricane ahead of Florida landfall. The storm currently has 5 states under emergency declarations. Michael Yoshida has the latest in our top story tonight.
Hurricane Helene getting stronger. Wednesday evening, the National Hurricane Center upped its forecast for the storm, predicting Helene will be a Category 4 before it makes landfall Thursday afternoon.
In many areas to the south are already beginning to feel the impact from the storm.
Part of that impact, tropical storm force winds, stretching more than 400 miles and rain lashing the Keys in southern Florida. Helene is expected to hit near Apalachicola, Florida, but much of Florida and parts of Georgia will also experience strong winds and several inches of rain.
So when those trees start to topple, they take lines down with them, and I think we're going to see some significant power outages, probably nothing like we've seen because it's 159 counties wide.
Forecasters are gauging Helene's storm surge potentially climbing to 20 feet along some parts of the coast. Experts say it will likely be the strongest hurricane to hit the U.S. in over a year. Many veterans of previous hurricanes like Ian and Idalia are opting to stay put.
I always draw up lots of water ahead of time, make sure I got food in the house.
If you're a godly person, pray.
The clock running out for those trying to prepare.
It's essentially you've got tomorrow to prep. After tomorrow, you need to be able to shelter and hunker in place until it's passed.
In Steinhatchee, Florida, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
I want to bring in Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis right now, not only for a first look at our forecast, but he's tracking this thing. And it's only a 1 right now, but it's going to really kick up here in the next couple of hours.
Yeah, this is expected to become a major storm. Within 24 hours, it goes from a 1 to a 4.
Wow.
Looking at the satellite image, there's some indication that the storm is strengthening. We're starting to get some of those convective cells showing up around the eye wall. I think a lot's going to change in a very short period of time. So does the National Hurricane Center. Again, everybody's bracing for the worst here tonight along the Florida coast. We're going to know pretty quickly if this forecast is going to verify tomorrow based on how this storm develops. Again, the next 12 hours are going to be critical here, so we'll continue to watch that. Our local weather, much quieter. Showers continue. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We've seen rain throughout the course of the day, and rain continues here into this evening. Our current temperature is 58 degrees. Temperatures have gone nowhere since 6 o'clock. It will remain in the upper 50s as we head into tonight. That's because we have a push of some warmer weather working in, and it's keeping temperatures pretty consistent. We'll be in the low 70s tomorrow and Friday. The weather warming up, a warming trend heading into the weekend. Tonight, overnight lows drop down into the upper 50s. Pretty comfortable sleeping weather tonight. I've got to look at when the rain comes to an end, along with how the weekend is shaping up, and that's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. New tonight, Rome Mayor.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Welcome back. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. It has been a very wet evening, a temperature of 57 degrees. We continue to track scattered showers moving across central New York. We're going to be underneath an area of low pressure, which will continue to give us some showers here over about the next 12 to 24 hours. The winds will be around tomorrow, but the winds become much lighter as we move forward. Looking to get the lawn cut tomorrow. Not a great day, another day with showers around, but we do see improvements in the weather. Friday and Saturday look a lot nicer. Our Rocast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor. Low pressure continues to drive our weather across central New York. We're tracking the next wave of precipitation that will be moving in as a cold front moves in from the west. You can kind of see the leading edge of this line out towards Buffalo. That's going to be heading east. Kind of a slow mover here, so it's going to give us the chance for rain as we head into tonight and tomorrow. Scattered showers around overnight. Temperatures will rise as we head towards daybreak. Temperatures in the 60s throughout the day tomorrow. Here's the front. Cold front arrives around the afternoon time, and then it moves to the east. We will get a chance to dry out tomorrow night. Some fog is expected by Friday morning. A beautiful day on Friday. Some fog and low clouds early in the day in the valley locations, and then we'll see some sunshine. Temperatures in the 70s. Hurricane Helene, again, making landfall along the Big Bend of Florida. The turn to the west will be due to what's called the Fujiwara effect. A lot of times these hurricanes come right up the East Coast, but this one does not. The reason why is it interacts with this area of low pressure, and that's going to pull it to the west. That's called the Fujiwara effect. It's when low pressures, when you get two of them, they rotate counterclockwise around each other. Not only do they do that, but they're also going to combine. And again, it keeps the storm to the west as we head into the weekend. We'll keep an eye on that because some of the long-range forecast models do try to send some of this energy east, which may give us a little bit extra cloud cover on Saturday. And we'll keep an eye on that. Showers tonight, 58 for the overnight low. Showers tomorrow, breezy, 70 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Sunshine in abundance as we head into the weekend. Again, we think a little bit more cloud cover Saturday compared to Sunday, but it does look nice at this point. Lots of sunshine continues Monday and Tuesday with showers and cooler weather by Wednesday.